I'd like to call the Clay Township Board of Trustees meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks for coming, everybody. A windy day, that's for sure. Hope no one got blown away too much. Roll call, please.
Mark Bouchard.
Here.
Maureen Ward.
Here.
Joanne Shirkey.
Here.
Artie Bryson.
Here.
Christy Hilton. Here. Krista Regan.
I'm here.
Cindy Valentine here.
Okay, we're all here and accounted for. First thing we have is a couple public hearings. I'll entertain a motion. We could probably do both of them at once.
Make a motion to open the public hearing for the North Channel West Bridge repair and for the North Channel West paving at 6 o'clock.
Support.
Okay, motion support. All in favor of going to the public hearing, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. So we'll go into public hearing. We have two special assessments in the same area. They're on North Channel West. One is for bridge repair on the private road, and the second one is for paving on the road. There are two separate projects, two separate special assessments, same road. Is there anybody that'd like to speak to this as to the special assessment, the public hearing on it? Entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for the North Channel West Bridge repair and the North Channel West paving at 6:01.
Support.
Okay, a motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carried, and we are now closed. All right, we have bills payable. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to support bills payable in the amount of $93,221.43.
Okay, a motion support. Any questions, discussion, anything on that? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Maureen Ward.
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Christy Hilton.
Yes.
Krista Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Next is Supervisor's report. Okay, I started working on and looking at our water and sewer ordinances, bringing them up to date. We got to do a little bit of tweaking on both of those. Dealing with building and blight issues, as always. We had some court issues going on and with dangerous building and blight. In fact, we had a hearing today. I think it went well. I didn't get a report yet, but they said it went well. Kind of Judge Lane today on one issue. So, working on finalizing the audit. We had a meeting last Thursday, and they should be at our next meeting in December 20th, to go over our audit for our board. So, we do have a PDF on that, don't we? We'll email. I'll email it out to everybody so you can look at it ahead of time.
Okay.
If you have any questions for our auditors while they're here. I'm working on pension liability bonding. Had a few meetings on that and reporting to Standards & Poor and Department of Treasury. It's all going well. We'll update you. That will probably take place in the middle of January. We got to submit everything to Department of Treasury, and we got to wait for their blessing on it, and then it will come back to us. Okay, roads. Been doing a lot of talking with the Road Commission, and I received some hard commitments from them in 2022. It's hard to get used to saying that. Just say next year, They're going to do a full repaving. In other words, they're going to grind it down and redo the base and repave. They're going to do a full repaving of Golf Course Road plus part of North Channel Road. They're going to do a new surface or chip seal on Bates Road and also on Middle Channel Drive. They are going to be repaving Anchor Bay Drive 100%. And it's going to depend on their work schedule and everything else. They're going to try to replace the last bridge where you turn right before you get to Deckers. These are all primary county roads. They are 100% responsible for them, but I got firm commitments from them, so we're going to get a lot of road work down here from them, and we're committed to the second half of Phillips Road still that we already approved. County parks, the DNR, we actually through the county, but we received a DNR trust fund grant for $150,000 to buy the property that's adjacent to where the county park's going to be, that yellow house right next week. We received, or I should say, the county actually received the grant, and we helped them out with it for $150,000. We don't have a specific deal with them. We're trying to cut a deal for them, but we do have the grant in place. So I'll be facilitating some talks between the property owner and the county about purchasing that piece of property, and that will square up the whole property for the beach park that we're going to go in. And I'd like to actually, it was pretty well funded this year, and I assume next year too. I'm going to try to submit, this is called a development grant for the Harsontown Nature Park, where the kayak launch is going in the nature trail. So I got to get working on that. We got to get our Township Parks and Rec plan updated though first. Let's see, Township, we replaced our hot water heater, or I guess it's just a water heater. And I've been talking with Dave Vandenbosch, who's actually in the back row a lot. He's going to give us an update on using some county ARPA funds to help us out with emergency sirens. He's going to come and talk about that later on, so I won't go into that too much. We have a verbal agreement with with the three communities that share our wastewater treatment plant. There's Ira and Elginak. And as far as controlling infiltration going forward, and we're going to come up with a formal agreement where it's got to get better for us. All three of our communities have to get better, but we're going to have an agreement with benchmarks and goals set for the 5 years to improve on it, and some type of a penalty for non-compliance and reaching the benchmarks. We all sat down, had a very good meeting, and verbally agreed on it, and so we're going to go forward with that plan. I also put in front of you is the wastewater treatment plant budget, and also a 5-year capital improvement plan. And in that, you'll notice, we're keeping our what each community contributes. It's going to stay the same for all 5 years, and it keeps our money that we need to have on hand relatively in a comfortable spot, and our capital improvements. We did switch it up a little bit. We need to get a new generator that will run all the plants when we do have a power outage, or all the pumps when we do have a power outage, and that's about $300,000. So, and I'm doing a lot of research and looking for funding opportunities for our water main replacement project, and also the sewer interceptor repair project. So I've been doing a lot with that. Just wanted to mention too, you know, it was about 3 weeks now, we had a big fire in the community where Rolling Brook was burnt down. It was actually in Elginak proper, but we had 24 units that burned down. We had a lot of people displaced, and it's really incredible how our community came forward to help these people out. And I just want to give kudos to our community again, our service groups. I know the Elginak Lions, Pearl Beach Lions, the Elginak Brewery, they stepped up and gave a lot of money to help these people out. And just to update, the Elginak Lions is playing a lead role on getting new housing. And I really don't know much about, it's called Section 8 housing funding. But it takes about 3 months for it to kick in. So really these people, they need housing now. And they came up, everybody came up with about $45,000 to provide new housing for these people for 3 months. That's huge. And that it wouldn't happen in any other community, I don't think, other than ours. I've said it many times, I'll continue to say it, we have an awesome community, so. All right, that's with all I have for my report. Any questions, board? Okay, next we have public comments. Do we have any public comments? Come on up, state your name and address.
Evening. Christine Holcomb, Parsons Island, also Vice Chair of the Planning Commission. So back in December of 2020, almost a couple of weeks shy of right where we are right now, the Planning Commission was in a position we now find ourselves in again. We have 2 members that have commissions expiring and who have requested reappointment. Back in December, 1 commissioner was not reappointed by the supervisor, Mr. Harold Bain, and the other, our chairperson, Kathy Schweikart, was told by the supervisor at the meeting in January of this year that he would reach out to her by phone. I can tell you she's still waiting for that phone call. Fast forward to today. Planning Commissioners Tom Quazell and Whitey Simon, the Secretary of the Planning Commission, were both up for reappointment. Both submitted their letters of interest in serving and being reappointed to another term. I see your agenda for tonight's meeting includes the reappointment of Mr. Quazell, but no mention of Commissioner Simon or that of the chairperson, Ms. Schweikart. Both Mr. Simon and Ms. Schweikart have served on the Planning Commission for over 15 years. Mr. Simon's been the Secretary on the Planning Commission. They both bring knowledge, experience, education, professionalism, impartiality, integrity, and common sense to the Commission. In his email to Mr. Simon, the supervisor stated he was polling some of the board to see what direction they'd like to go. My knowledge of the direction of the Planning Commission is that it is established by law, by the master plan, and to the health and welfare of the community. It was pointed out to me in January that the supervisor makes the recommendation to the board for appointment to the Planning Commission, and I totally understand that. However, it's the board who makes the decision as to who gets appointed, not the supervisor. With that, I ask you to please amend your agenda to include the reappointment of Mr. Simon and Ms. Schweikart to your agenda, but it doesn't stop there. Also on your agenda tonight is a confirming the Clay Township Planning Commission confirmed ordinance, which is attached to the agenda and entitled Ordinance to Confirm the Establishment of a Planning Commission with Zoning Authority. I can tell you that since November of 1965, the Planning Commission has consisted of 9 members, one of which is from the Board of Trustees, and has never included the Township Supervisor. I'm curious as to when this discussion regarding this ordinance occurred, and if any of the public was allowed to hear the discussion or participate. And I'm curious as to your individual thoughts on the ordinance. Were you all provided with a draft to discuss at the meeting this ordinance was suggested at? Or did this ordinance just come at you completely prepared and ready for signature with no input necessary? Do you ever question the reason, intent, or direction the effects these changes will bring to this township? Lastly, I'd like to call attention that if you adopt this ordinance, it will not only reduce the number of planning commissioners from 9 to 7, it will also reduce the number of planning commissioners from the island by half. I ask you, do you feel that this is what the citizens from the island that elected you to represent them on this township would want you to do? Does that reflect a fair and equitable representation of the entire geography of this township on the Planning Commission? I think not. Please don't adopt this ordinance. As a citizen of this township, I respectfully ask you to all, please think about this. Watch the Planning Commission meetings. Attend a Planning Commission meeting. Ask questions. Listen to the voice of the community. And ask yourself questions before you make a decision. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
My name is Sharon Newman. My address is 4460 Middle Channel Drive. And I have to say the young lady over said pretty much everything better than I could ever say it. But many people, including myself, were questioning the reappointment of Whitey Simon. And as I understand that Kathy Schwarkart, who is the chair of the Planning Commission, has served over a year without reappointment. And this seems questionable to me and many. So you are reappointing Tom Cazal. The community supports Whitey and Kathy due to all their vast experience, extensive knowledge and service, and long-term service of what they have done. And I see on the agenda that you are interested in reducing the Planning Commission from 9 to 7 members. Is this plan to eliminate Kathy and Whitey? Will they be the 2 to go? Thank you.
Thank you. I will tell everyone there's not going to be, we haven't met and discussed this ordinance. That's illegal. We're going to discuss it tonight amongst ourselves. We didn't, like the person before alluded, when did you have your meeting and when was it discussed? It's never been discussed. We're going to talk about it tonight, our board. And that's why I was going to poll to see what the direction of the board and talk about which direction of the board wants to go. And leave it at that. And there won't be, we're not voting on amending the ordinance tonight. It's for discussion. So, any other public comments?
I wanted to read into the record. Not
in public comments, this is public comments.
I was told by this law firm that due to COVID concerns, the people that were behind sending this letter to us weren't here, and they want it read into the public comments for the record. So I'm just going to read so it can be in public comments as on the record. That's what they asked me to do. Public comments. This is public comments. I'm reading it on behalf of the concerned citizens. They sent everyone on the board a letter from an attorney questioning these potential changes. Since we're all talking about it, I want it read into the record on behalf of the people who wrote this. And it says, Dear Board of Trustee members, I have been asked by some concerned citizens to address the potential issue of a pending change to the makeup of the Clay Township Planning Commission. I have attached as Exhibit 1 the copy of the document that was provided to me that is entitled Clay Township Ordinance to confirm the establishment of a planning commission with zoning authority. It is my understanding at this time the current Clay Township zoning ordinance, known as Zoning Ordinance Number 126, was adopted on August 20, 2007 with an effective date of September 5, 2007. That document on page 2 in section 1.08 repealed any previously existing zoning ordinance in Clay Township. Exhibit 1 indicates that it is being adopted pursuant to the Michigan Zone Enabling Act, to wit MCL 125.3101. Exhibit 1 in section 3 at the top page of 2 provides as follows. One member of the Township Board or the Township Supervisor or both shall be appointed to the Planning Commission as ex officio members. It further provides as follows. An ex officio member has full voting rights. It is my understanding that part of the current proposal is to reduce the Planning Commission from 9 members to 7. It is my understanding that there is no lack of interest in Clay Township from the citizens to not serve on the Planning Commission. The statute, MCL 125.3815, Section 3 provides, the membership of a Planning Commission shall be representative of important segments of the community, such as the economic, governmental, educational, and social development of the local unit of government, such as agricultural, natural resources, recreation, education, public health, government, transportation, industry, and commerce. The membership shall also be representative of the entire territory of the local unit of government to the extent practicable. The statute MCL 125.3815 provides as follows. In a township that on September 1, 2008 had a planning commission created under former 1931 PA 285, one member of the legislative body or the chief elected official or both may be appointed to the planning commission as ex officio members. In any other township, one member of the legislative body shall be appointed to the planning commission as ex officio member. It would appear at this juncture that the current planning commission for Clay Township was not created under the former 1931 PA 285. The current Clay Township zoning ordinance in section 102 states that zoning ordinance is adopted in accordance with the provisions of the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act, ZEA, Public Act of 110 of 2006. MCL 125.3101 as amended and repeals Clay Township Zoning Ordinance 123 effective September 3rd, 2002, and all amendments thereto effective coincident with the effective date of this ordinance. I have attached as Exhibit 2 the Michigan Attorney General's opinion, number 6834, dated February 3rd, 1995, issued by then Michigan Attorney General Frank J. Kelly. His opinion notes in part as follows. At the common law, public officers with power of appointment were disqualified from appointing themselves to a public office. Page 2 of that opinion states as follows. In light of the common law rule against self-appointment to public office and the provisions of Michigan's incompatibility statute that prohibit a person from holding two public offices when one public office has the power of appointment or removal over the other public office, it must be concluded that the legislature did not intend in Section 4 of 1959 PA 168 to authorize the Township Supervisor to appoint himself or herself to the Township Planning Commission. It is my opinion, therefore, that a Township Supervisor may not appoint himself or herself as a member of the Township Planning Commission. That's from Frank J. Kelly. The Clay Township Zoning Ordinance, Article XXVI, provides for the makeup of the Township Planning Commission. In Section 26.02, it states the Planning Commission shall consist of 9 members who shall be representative of major interests as they exist in the township, such as agriculture, recreation, education, public health, government, commerce, transportation, and industries. All members shall be qualified electors and property owners of the township. One member of the Township Board shall be a member of the Planning Commission. All members of the Planning Commission shall be appointed by the Township Supervisor with the approval of the Township Board. Members may be removed by the Township Supervisor after a hearing with the approval of the Township Board. The term of each member shall be for 3 years except that of the members first appointed. 1/3 shall serve for 1 year, 1/3 for 2, and 1/3 for 3. All vacancies for unexpired terms shall be filled For the remainder of such term, a member shall hold office until his or her successor is appointed. Thus, I would respectfully suggest the Township Board is not in a position at its December 6th meeting to change the makeup of the Planning Commission or to authorize a revision that would supposedly authorize the Township Supervisor to appoint himself to the Planning Commission, and this was respectfully submitted for concerned citizens by Gary Gendernalik of the Shapper Law Firm.
Okay, thank you. I think I kind of said that.
They asked me to read it, so.
Okay, I think I already just kind of said that. Nothing was
Right.
Be decided today, so.
Right.
Jim Newman, 7650 South Channel Drive. You know, we got a lot of concerned people here in the room once again, and there's a common theme here each time we seem to get a good audience, in that we have concerns with the residents of Clay Township. This one being particularly strong because we're looking at making a dramatic change in the makeup of a very important group within Clay Township. I'm going to just throw this out there because a lot of people are thinking it, and I'm not afraid to say it. But there's no secret that some of the people that Artie's choosing not to, I guess, reinstate once again, have a different opinion or agenda than the Bryson family ferry. Okay? You can scoff all you want, but you're not operating in a secret anymore. Everybody knows that you're a member of that family. And a member of a family will always, you're right. They'll always stand by their family. And you continually say you're going to remain neutral. But this is so clear. It's so obvious that that's not what you're doing. Because there are people that you're saying, I'm not going to reinstate them again, because they have a differing opinion.
That's not why.
Right. You expect us to believe that? Do you think we're all fools in this room?
Thank you for your comments.
I've got a little bit more here. And you guys on the board, it's really important that you guys listen to the people, okay? Your job is to make sure that we have those checks and balances, and that we don't have somebody or a group of people with an incredible amount of say in how things go. We've got to have balance, and we're looking to you guys to make sure that that balance stays in place, okay? We need you guys more than ever right now to do what's right for the community. I don't think there's anybody in this room or in this community that thinks reducing the number on the commission to 7 is a good idea. We don't want that. We want checks and balances, and we expect you guys to uphold that. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I have a question.
You have to come up, state your
Okay,
name.
I can-
This is public comments.
I just have a question. Are the meetings, the Dan Newman Middle Channel, are the meetings normally at 7 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Okay, I thought that was my question.
Yep.
Okay, so that answers it, thank you.
Yep.
We moved them from 7 to 6.
When did that happen?
July.
Excuse me, sir, are you speaking of the planning commission or the board meeting?
Board meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
the planning commission is still at 7 o'clock, when we do have a meeting.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? No more public comments? All right, move along. Next, we have the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of the minutes from November 15th, the minutes from the special board meeting of November 30th, and the check reports for pay from the meeting 11/15, payroll, and in between meetings.
Support.
Okay, a motion and support. Any discussion or questions on any of it?
It's just a little one, but we paid somebody to paint some lights over on the island.
Paid somebody to paint something.
17 South Channel lights painting or something. Was that an improvement? Diamonds improvements or?
If If you'd have checked with me before the meeting, I could have looked it up for you, but off the top of my head, I can't tell you.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's for $425. It's not the end of the world. I just wanted to know what was. I'll check with you after the meeting. Thank you.
Is that, maybe that's for save our South Channel lights for the,
No?
I don't want to speculate what it's for because I
Yeah,
don't know.
Okay.
Was that paid in between meetings?
Looks like that's taken out.
It is.
Anyone in the audience know anything about that? Yeah.
About what?
What?
We can't hear you.
Lights in the South Channel, painting lights.
we'll check into it. I'm not sure what it's for.
Yeah, I didn't put you on the spot. It's just you guys are wrong.
We couldn't hear what you said, what was for.
I was questioning a report, or a check that was issued for a South Channel painting project for about $400. And I just didn't know what that was for, and I should have checked before the meeting to find out, and I didn't. So normally, you know.
Oh, I will tell you.
Did you find out?
That is for Parks and Rec, so it's money in, money out.
Oh,
It was for a painting class
oh, cool.
that Parks and Rec hosted.
Money in, money out.
Over the South Channel lights.
Yes. Money in, money out for Parks and Rec.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Some rec, and
It was for a painting class through Parks and Rec. Okay, anything else on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor of the consent agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Fire chief report. Chief? We wouldn't hear you coming.
Christmas is coming.
Good evening. Chief's report for November 2021. During the month of November, I did not attend any meetings. I was out of town on the two occasions that the Chiefs Association meeting was held, and also the Island Homeowners Association. New airboat's been taken out of storage and placed in Station 1. We're changing over equipment on it, and we're conducting training on it. In fact, we took it over to Russell Island. We had to take the police department over there to check on some suspicious boaters over there. And it worked really well for us, so we're really proud with it. Fireboat 1 had some issues, so we pulled the power head on it. It's at the service department right now. They're going to check and see what caused it to seize up. I then stored the boat at the Algonac Harbor Club for the year. Boat 2 was pulled out and winterized, and that also is stored at Main Station in case we need to use it in the wintertime to get the police department or the fire department over to the outer islands. And let's see. Engine 1 will be taken over to West Shore. In fact, it's going to go over on Wednesday morning for some warranty issues. They're going to fix it. It should be gone for about a week. We'll get that back, put the equipment on it, then it'll be transferred over to the island, and it'll stay over there for good. So that'll be all set. I want to advise the residents to make sure that they change their batteries and their smoke detectors and their CO2 detectors. Winter is upon us. Also to clean the wood stoves and the chimneys and have them inspected. I also would like to read this. We responded to a large fire in the city of Algonac as a mutual aid. Clay Township is truly fortunate to have a team like this one. In the time of need, we all pull together and make it happen. I would like to thank the police department, the fire department, and dispatch for an awesome job, and the Algonac and Pearl Beach Lions for being a great resource. So in that time, we all pulled together, we helped the city, and did an awesome job.
We've been busy, Chief, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
We're going to probably hit 15 or go above 1,500 calls for the year.
We're at 1559 right now.
Oh, we already went past
Yes.
15.
Or no, I'm sorry, 1459.
And I can remember not long ago, thought we were busy at 1,000 calls.
Yep.
So, any questions for Chief?
Good job, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Tonight, Andy assisted with bringing over a AED to the thanks, Chief. The LG funds that we had.
Right. Yeah. We brought an AED over for the Elginak Lions during that event, left it there because there's a lot of events in that hall, and it is a warming center, emergency warming center for us. So, thank you.
For your heart.
Okay,
Yep.
I didn't know what that was.
Automatic defibrillator.
Okay.
Yep. All right, under new business, we have fire department accept a donation of $300 from St. John's Marsh Dental. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the donation for $300 from St. John's Marsh Dental.
Support. Okay, we have motion and support, and I saw we wanted to give our fire department a little help, so. Any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor of accepting the donation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you to St. John's Marsh Dental. Next we have Parks and Rec M-Parks Conference to send Cindy Babish there. It's going to be, the cost is $450 plus lodging, and we're going to split that half with Ira.
I'll make a motion to approve the M-Parks Conference for Cindy Babbitts with a $450 plus lodging split with Ira Township.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion?
Is that just for one person?
Yes. Yep. Any more discussion?
And where is that being held at?
Traverse City.
Yeah, Traverse City. You get a lot of benefits out of it. I mean, we probably recoup our money easily with grants and stuff that she's able to get, you know, from the training and good ideas.
Okay.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, next, Planning Commission reappointment of Tom Kozel. As you said, I'm nominating Tom for another term on the Planning Commission. He's been a member, I think, 3 terms, I think. He's been a good asset. I think he's a voice of reason. He's
2014.
It's what?
2014.
Yeah. He's a design engineer, so he's quite knowledgeable on different things. He actually grew up on Harson's Island, spent a lot of time on his life on Harson's Island. And now he lives in the back country. I'll just stay in Clay Township. So he's very knowledgeable. Lived here his whole life. Grew up here. He's a muskrat. So that's my nomination. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Tom Kozel to another term on the Clay Township Planning Commission.
Is there a second? Support. Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next we have for discussion, I just wanted to get your input on, it was, how this all started was, we have a new planner, and he suggested, and also we had legal kind of suggest, why do we have a 9-member planning commission board? Most communities our size are 5-member, we've been having problems of getting things done with the planning commission. We're definitely in arrears for our rec plan that's up in 3 weeks. And to my knowledge, they haven't even started on looking at it. And that's a pretty big deal, especially for our community, because recreation is a large part of our community. And there's other things that it's just taking too long to get done.
Such as what problems things are getting done, I
Getting sent back.
need to know.
I can probably get more granular with you. Like for instance, well, right now we're being sued on an ordinance that I questioned right from the origin. You know, it's ambiguous, it wasn't well written, and it comes from our planning commission. And if it was written correctly or right, in my opinion, and you know, maybe I'm the only one on this board, we probably wouldn't be in the middle of a lawsuit right now. And that comes from the planning commission on the zoning for 126.
You have any comments on that, Mark? You're on the commission?
Well, it was brought before the board did approve it.
Yep.
Right.
So I don't know why was they not addressed at that point in time during the board approval process.
Right, it should have been, but I mean, I actually called Giffords and Webster's, our old planner, and there won't be any problems with it. Well, okay, so it's partly my fault too.
Well, yeah, it
But-
doesn't sound like that was the
but,
planning commission, it sounds like it was the board.
But recently they came to us with a zoning amendment for fences on the water. Remember, we turned it down, we denied it. Because the planning commission, for someone to get a fence approved on the water, instead of giving us concise, this is how you do it, this is the criteria which needs to be met to have this fence. They said, no, we want you to come for a special land use in front of the planning commission, which would cost someone minimum $650. This is for a permit for a fence, and take 2 months. And I thought that was ludicrous, and I thought we all did, that this should be able to be handled administratively like any other permit with the with our building inspector. You know, they're supposed to set the criteria, so we rejected it.
Were people asking for that, Mark, though? Is that why the planning commission did it?
This is,
Well, it goes into a long story about somebody wants to.
We can't hear you.
It had something to do with the constructive heating of the waterfront, so.
Can't hear you.
Nobody can understand.
It had something to do with the waterfront and obstructive view, somebody put the fence in. So that came before the planning commission about 3 different times, public hearing, so on and so forth, and we restricted that fencing and having the permit for it. So that's the short story. But going back to the planning and the planners that we did hire at that point in time, I believe we did remove those planners from ambiguous, as you said, ambiguous ordinances. So we're moving on from there. Now we have a planner that him and I are in discussion with some of the issues, and we have a lot of things that overlap one another, and we're straightening those out as well.
so all these things are sitting in, and others are sitting in purgatory, I'll say. And, you know, our planners have suggested go down to a 7-member board. And we pulled this ordinance off the MTA.
So there was 2 ordinances on there to
Yes.
confirm the planning commission. One was whether your original, which is why this is sitting in front of you, whether your original planning commission ordinance was under Public Act 285, or if it was under, I think the other one was 168.
Yes.
So I pulled our ordinance, and this is Public Act 285. This is the ordinance that goes with it. Now, the reference that Gary has referred to in that letter that was sent to the board
The attorney.
refers to 168, not the 285, and he refers to it into the zoning ordinances, not our township ordinance. So,
He's referring to the zoning ordinance 126. not our township ordinance that creates the zoning or the planning commission.
So we can look into that and see if there was an error in the zoning when they printed that, or when they adopted it, and if that's the case, then we'll just switch to the other ordinance. They're both exactly the same, but ordinance, Public Act 285 does allow for the supervisor to sit. There are approximately 3 townships in Michigan that had adopted this in 1965, and we were one of them.
Well, it seems to me that the people don't want to reduce it, and I want to do what the people want to do.
Thank you.
Okay.
The master plan that was put out by the previous planners, I thought was very professional, and, you know, I don't know, I'm new, so, you know, I don't know everything. I called, when we got this letter from the attorney today, and it took me, you know, like, what is going on? So I called MTA and I talked to them, and I looked through our book, and it says on page 353 here, an elected officer or employee of the township cannot serve as a member or employee of the planning commission.
There you go.
Except that one member of the township board, which is Mark, must be appointed by the planning commission as the ex officio member. So, I mean, I'm sure there's probably some loophole or some way to get around it with these different acts that we're talking about.
Correct. Like I said, the majority of townships, I just pulled the ordinance that applied to us based off of how we originally adopted it.
And let me read further. This is Michigan Planning Enabling Act 33 of 2008, which is after the Attorney General's opinion. This is what our state legislature passed. Planning Commission membership, appointment terms, vacancies, blah, 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 blah. And it is Act MCL 125.3815, paragraph 5. In a township that on September 1, 2008 had a planning commission created under the former PA 1939 PA 285, which we are, and it says it right here, we are. Let's see, created under PA 235, a member of the legislative body or the chief elected official, which is the supervisor, or both, may be appointed to the planning commission as ex-official members.
Well, it's like I said, I mean,
Right.
I'm sure there's a way that we can make it happen, but I don't think it's in the
But-
best interest if that's what the people don't want.
If-
I mean,
if this-
we've been operating since 9 people since 1965, and the people who are going to be eliminated that have been on there over 15 years, it just doesn't seem to be a good idea to me. You know, you're
Okay,
going
well,
to
that's-
appoint the people and you're going to run it?
No.
I'm trying to understand it because I'm new.
I'm not saying I want to be on the planning commission. I really don't want to do. You know, I love it when people tell me what I
I said I'm
think.
new, I'm trying to understand.
I love when you tell us what we can't.
There you go.
It just, if this board would like it to happen, it affords that right to this board. That's all. If the board doesn't want the supervisor on it, it's a non-issue.
Again, I didn't pick the confirming ordinance that we liked
I mean,
better.
we took the language right out of the,
Whichever one applied to our township is
we
what
took the language out.
Okay.
And
Well, I don't know, I mean, I talked to MTA and they, you know, they said they're,
Well, this was from the MTA site. that this was
Exactly.
off of,
so,
So,
all right, well,
So-
like I said, I'm new, I'm trying to understand it, I'm trying to do what the people want, and
That's what you guys can do.
So, what I wanted to do is have a discussion because we all, I mean,
Don't stutter.
would we agree that there's been issues with the planning commission and getting things out of it? It was suggested to me that a 7-member board would probably work better than a 9-member board. And that's what we brought on. If the board would like us to, want us to continue that aspect, what we would do is direct the planning commission to have a couple, or a public comment, or a public hearing on the topic, and then advise us if the planning commission wishes to adopt this ordinance or not. Then it would come back to this board, and we would have the right to adopt it or not adopt it.
The planning commission would have the public hearing.
Yes. Yes.
In my
I think that would be a great opportunity.
And what I would like to get is, does this board want us, or want to direct the planning commission to have a public hearing on this topic?
Yes.
That's all we're looking for tonight.
I don't, in my opinion.
You don't want to have a
The
public,
more
a
people that
public
want to
hearing.
serve,
Okay.
I don't.
You don't want to give others the
Well, I don't think people
affordability?
want change.
Well, there's some people that don't, but there might be a lot. I'm just asking if you want to have a public hearing on the topic.
This is it.
They don't want to have a public hearing. Obviously.
is a public.
No, it's not a public hearing. This is a board discussion on the ordinance.
Explain to me, again, because I'm new, so explain to me, I mean, I think we're so fortunate to have people who have all this vast knowledge and experience who want to serve. And this eliminates them. Like, if we had people that didn't want to serve, I could see reducing it. But the more people you have, you know, if there's absences, you have more of a quorum, the more opinions you get, the more checks and balances you get. So explain to me, like, what's the big benefit of having less when you have people who want to serve? I mean, I know you're saying we're going to get things done quicker, but I haven't heard a lot of complaints about the planning commission, but I may be, you know. What complaints have you heard?
I've had complaints from from engineers, from developers, and from other citizens. I'm amazed the guy from Blue Horseshoe didn't sue us for taking 2 years to get that project approved through our planning.
It's the building department. That's the building department.
Right, okay.
It was your fault, not the planning commission.
But it's
They're the ones that brought before us an incomplete site plan. How can you make a decision?
But it's just been taking a long time to get things done.
Because it's always thrown back.
And all the complaints that you get from the citizens, and let me correct you, because I am on the planning commission, is because we're upholding the ordinances that are in place.
Mark, I need a Parks and Rec plan in 3 weeks. It ain't gonna happen.
Have you given direction to the chairman on that?
Yes, and the whole commission, I told them.
Really? I've never heard
Never
of
seen
it.
it.
First I hear of it.
Oh, I told you, I sent emails out,
I'll check my emails.
telling you, we need a Parks and Rec plan. The planning commission should know is up at the end of 2021.
How would we know that?
Because you approved it in 2017. It's 5 years.
That's 4, right?
17, 18, no, it's 5.
Of the end of 17 to the.
You know, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting the weeds. So, my question to the board is, do we want to give direction to the planning commission to have a public hearing on reducing the size of the planning commission?
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to hear public input from a public hearing.
Then I would too.
Do you want me to make a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we have the planning commission conduct a public hearing with regard to confirming the establishment of the planning commission, downsizing to 7 members.
No.
I'll support that.
No.
You support that? Okay.
Why is the board not doing it?
We need examples on
So we have a motion
beyond there.
to have a public hearing that's advertised, so everyone has the right to come and voice their opinion on reducing the size of the planning commission from 9 to 7.
So is this motion going to the planning commission? Would it be definitive to have them approve this ordinance that you're putting forth?
This is a sample, like they gave us for the marijuana ordinance, or the short-term rental ordinance, remember? It's just a sample. And believe me, if they want to take out having the supervisor on, no problem.
Good.
Good, no problem.
Doing
the sorry when everybody's here, though.
They don't want us to go from 9 to 7, then are we going to uphold that? Is that what the public hearing is for?
It would still be a planning commission vote.
Then it would come back to us.
So there's dragging it out.
Yeah, then it would come back to us.
So I'm just trying to understand what happens after the public hearing. We have the public hearing, people come speak out that they're for or against it. Then the planning commission votes to go from 9 to 7, or?
They vote, they could say, we're not going to take any action. Yes, we want to go from 9 to 7. They can vote either way. And then, once they give their decision, it comes back to this board.
So who has the final vote? So then why have it?
Yeah, I know, why do you have it?
Because the process is the planning commission does it, and it says in state law, the planning commission has a public hearing, which is the right way to do it. I'm sorry.
What time of the year will they have the?
It's up to the planning commission.
Do it in the summer when everybody's here. July.
So,
Yeah.
Not March.
all right, we have a motion. You want to repeat the motion again?
Motion to direct the planning commission to hold a public hearing with regards to the Lake Township ordinance confirming the establishment of a planning commission with the reduction of members from 9 to 7.
Yep,
I supported it.
Okay. Any more discussion with the board? Let's do a roll call vote, please.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Christy Hilton.
Yes.
Chris O'Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Maureen Bory.
No.
Okay, it passes 6-1. All right, moving on. We have resolution 2021-42 establishing water rates. In the resolution, we have a small increase. It's the first time we've done an increase, what, 3 years, John? 3 or 4?
3 years.
3 years. It goes up 11 cents per 1,000 gallons, and base charge goes up $1.
I'd just like to point out that this is conforming to our rate study that we had done 4 years ago. So we're just trying to stay on track with their recommendations.
We haven't raised the water rates in a long time either, right?
3 years. They've been frozen.
Yeah.
Not long enough.
But the water's going down.
So, and I think our informal on our audit, we were basically at break even with the water department this year. So I think we're in a plus by like $7,000. So, and that's not including the depreciation. So I think, yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 2021-42 establishing water rates with highlights including January 1st through 2022 through December 31st, 2022. Consumption charge will be $5 per 1,000 gallons per quarter, and the water supply charge will be $35 per quarter.
Support.
Okay, a motion and support. Any discussion?
What percentage increase is this?
It's 11 cents.
11 cents.
11 cents for, what's, for 1,000 gallons.
1,000 gallons.
11 cents for 1,000 gallons.
So it's 11 cents on $5.
Yeah, 11 cents on $5, that would be 2%.
A little over 2.
Yeah, a little over 2.
Okay. It'd be, is it a full 2? 2/10. Full 2.
Well, we're 486 currently.
46?
489.
49, I'm sorry. So it's about a 2.4% increase.
Would you say 2.12?
Yes.
Okay, any other discussions? And this is what our auditors recommended about 4 or 5 years ago. We're just staying on the course. We are going to be doing lots of studying on this going forward. Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Artie Bryson?
Yes.
Christy Hilton?
Yes.
Chris O'Regan?
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard?
Yes.
Maureen Bory?
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next, we have our vehicle leases. For the police, do we have water in here too?
We do not. Next meeting.
Okay, and we have the Township car, right?
Yes.
So, coming up, Mike?
Well, this is the program that we talked about here a couple months back.
A few times, yeah.
As far as leasing opposed to buying. As you can see right now, we can come in under $60,000 a year, and that is leasing 6 new patrol vehicles. It's unlimited miles on these vehicles. Right now, for us to purchase 2 vehicles is almost $80,000. So this puts us into a fleet across the board, as well as keeping the miles reduced better. Let's face it, we travel a lot of miles. We got a lot of area that we cover in the township here. And the best thing about this is, with this lease, Enterprise monitors our vehicles, monitors the mileage, the maintenance, everything like that. Then they will refer to us what is the best time to sell these vehicles to get the maximum dollar amount. With that being said, obviously we all know right now that the market's high as far as used vehicles. There's a few municipalities near us here that have actually just sold vehicles that were 2015s with almost 100,000 miles on them and got more than what they paid for them in 2015. So the problem that we're having right now is, what we do is we buy 2 new vehicles, those vehicles get pushed back to secondary, and then a third set of vehicles, then we sell them at that point. The problem is, once we sell them, the tires are basically driven off of them, we're making no money on them. Everything that I'm seeing with this program, and I've been researching this now for probably going on about 8 months now, talking to everybody that's done it, and I have not gotten any negative feedback on this. It's all been positives, and they've been an excellent company to work with. I think in the long run, we are really going to save a lot of money, as well as keeping our people in a lot safer vehicles too, instead of having vehicles out there running around 120, 130,000 miles on them.
And lower maintenance costs.
Much lower maintenance.
Probably better fuel,
Yes.
fuel mileage.
Our vehicles right now, we get through the, Macomb County bid. So we do purchase these vehicles at a cheaper rate, which really helps us on the resale value, because usually when we buy these vehicles, we're probably getting them close to $10,000 a car cheaper than what you can go buy them retail. So and with these, it doesn't matter if we keep them 1 year, we keep them 5 years, we can sell them at any time we want to sell these vehicles. And the profits from those vehicles come back to us. They take care of all the auctioning of the vehicles, getting rid of these vehicles for us. So another thing that we don't have to worry about taking care of as well. So it works out really nice.
So all these vehicles will be on a lease?
Yes.
Are we currently on a lease with the other companies or with the Macomb?
No, we buy them. And that's why I say we usually purchase 2 cars a year, 3 cars every other year. And 2 cars right now is costing us roughly $80,000 to purchase 2 cars.
So is there any downsides in switching on how you acquire the vehicles?
As far
if Enterprise goes away, who are you going to turn to?
Well, Enterprise, I don't see that being, if Enterprise goes under, I think we're in big trouble. Because they are, literally, they are...
well, I don't see them going away anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they are nationwide, and they're servicing millions of vehicles.
So it's always something we have to look at.
Yeah, and if that ever did happen, obviously, we'd have to go back to what we were doing, unless there was another company that was picking up and doing the same thing. But more and more, you're really seeing this happen, because I mean, that's what they have a designated part of their business is for now, is just for these with municipalities and fleet vehicles. And it's not just for police, it's for fire, for the township municipalities, for water department, DPW, everything from dump trucks to buses to you name it. They're doing it all.
It averages saving between 10 and 15,000 per vehicle.
Yes.
You came in and talked to us before.
Yes. Oh,
At
yes.
Enterprise, and when we were
Yeah,
talking
and
about
we've
budget.
been working
it was
on
great.
this since and getting this together, and we finally got everything all finalized, ready to go, and that's where we're at right now. And
Isn't it easier to get them on lease versus purchasing them? Because if we purchase them, we're going to have to wait too, and we can get them quicker with the lease?
well, it all depends. And right now, it's tough no matter what you do.
Right. We're going to be able to
A
get
lot of
them.
times, yes, because a lot of times they'll have some that are actually sitting within their lots, depending on how you order these vehicles. Right now, everybody's scooping them up as fast as you can find them, so. And that's kind of where we're sitting right now, where we've got some vehicles with some high mileage on it. What's nice too is they're gonna take the current vehicles that we have right now, they are gonna auction them for us. We get the proceeds from them as well. So in what they're talking, I think we'll do pretty well as far as that goes too. I think it'll at least cover the first year, maybe close to 2 years of lease payments for us by what we sell our vehicles for we have now.
So you're going to get the same type of vehicle, the same
Yes.
standard, same specs? and everything?
Yes.
And you're going to do the retrofit on it?
Yes, we do all the upfitting that on, which I will be at the next board meeting to talk with you on that, because obviously I'm gonna have to have equipment coming and things like that. The Explorers themselves, they changed the body style on them in 2020, so anything before that, a lot of the things do not fit on them. 3 of our vehicles right now are already outfitted with everything that's new. 3 of them, we're gonna have to replace some things, like the cages and partitions, some of the push bars and things like that, bracketry and things like that. So, but everything that, as far as that goes, we all do in-house. All the upfitting from top to bottom, we do, so.
And whether we are buying or leasing them, you'd still have to.
We
We still have to do that.
Right, we'd still be doing them.
Yeah.
We save a lot of money by doing them ourselves, so.
Thank you for doing that.
Sounds like a win-win.
Chief, can you refresh my memory? Isn't this a low level of commitment for your department?
Yes.
Can't you opt out of this
Yes.
just about whenever you want?
Say if we were into this for 2 years and we said, you know what, we want to be done with this, buy the lease out, we're done, vehicles are ours. Yes.
30 days.
There's no commitment. There's no long-term commitment with it.
That's what I remember hearing. I just didn't hear it again.
It's you know, like I say, everything that I've looked into with it is shown to be a very good program. Talking to other chiefs, other supervisors in different municipalities and that, and they've had nothing but good to say about it. I know John has done the looking into it as well, right alongside, same with George, and we haven't found anything bad. It's kind of scared me a little bit.
I know, how many times where are we not seeing? Where's the catch?
That's why I say, this is something like I say I've been working on for at least 8 months now. And I bet you that I work on this at least 2-3 days a week, so.
Great.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Does anyone have any, well, we'll need to do the motion.
Board, I'll make a motion to approve Chief Coach's request for the enterprise police vehicle lease.
Support.
Okay, we have motion support. Any more questions for Chief? For discussion? Seriously, we could not find, we've talked to several people. I know John has, what, Harrison Township?
Harrison Township's
Chesterfield?
been in this program for 5 years.
5 years.
And they highly recommend it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Matter of fact, they're the ones that just sold the 2015s and made more money on them 5 years later than what they purchased them for.
yeah, we're actually
Pretty good.
making money. And
Do I expect that to always be that way?
No.
No. But I know we'll do better than what we do right now driving the wheels off,
For sure.
so.
All right, hearing no more discussion, roll call vote, please.
Christy Hilton.
Yes.
Chris O'Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Maureen Bory.
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes,
Thank
thank you. And next thing, we have really the same question is for our township vehicle, for the administration. We got the enterprise lease contract, annual 9282. Talking to these guys, they basically said, you know, we'll probably want to swap your vehicle out once a year because we'll probably get you more money than what you pay for it. So we'll be making money and getting a new car every year, I guess.
Right.
But hey,
Not probably as many miles put on it as the police
Right,
cars.
right.
Yeah.
so,
I'll make a motion to approve the admin enterprise lease contract for an annual cost of $9,282.12.
Support.
there's some support. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Chris Oregan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard.
Yep.
Maureen Bory.
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Christie Hilton.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, next we have Andy. Are you sleeping on us yet?
Not yet.
Okay, we have the question of the Elegant Water Plant to purchase filter membrane replacement. And we have the superintendent of the water plant here with us. And jump in or correct me if I'm wrong on anything. We have these microfilters, and the life expectancy of them is 5-6 years. When you deal with colder water, we get a shorter life, which we deal with a lot of cold water. And ours are 7 years old. And we only really have one supplier, is that right, Andy?
Yes.
Okay, can you come on?
Sure.
Okay. And if everybody doesn't know, this is
Andrew Messina.
Andy Messina he's the superintendent of our water plant. So, the total cost is $445,760. Reason we want to do it now as opposed to January, because there's a 10% price increase, so basically we're saving 45 grand by doing it now. And is the new blocks included on this?
Yes, we knew we were going to have to replace the membranes. We know there's a lifespan on those. This is the first time we're replacing the blocks throughout the whole unit.
I gave them pictures of that in my last board.
Some of those I would say that all the blocks in the first 3 units are cracked. They have a small crack on the bottom. Some of them have large cracks towards the top. And that's causing us to fail our PDT test, our pressure decay test. The state won't allow us to let it go over 2.0 on our pressure decay, because that's an indication that water is bypassing, getting through the crack. The membranes have a very small hole in the element, only to allow water to pass through. Viruses are too big to pass through. So we can make a physical barrier between the dirt and the water and the drinking water. But if those cracks continue to grow, those barriers won't be there in place anymore. The water will get through. We've known I've been there for 5 years, and I've known the day I walked in, they talked about the cracked blocks and the problems it gave us. And they're compounding as time goes on, and especially during the winter when the cold water hits. Water, the viscosity increases, it gets harder to push through the membranes, the pressure increases, and then forces the water through those cracks. So if we want to do the membrane replacement, we have to do the membrane replacement because of the loss of our the transmembrane, lots of numbers in your letters here, transmembrane pressures for the water to go through. And you cannot do the repair on these machines and set those membranes aside. They have to stay wet. If they dry out, they're no longer any good, because once they're dry, water won't pass through them again. So if we do it while we get the new membranes, they come packaged, sealed, so we can do our repairs, put the new membranes in, and not have to worry about the old, about them drying out on us. And we've never done a block replacement ourselves, so there's also a price in here to have a guy on duty with us, their people. because there's a lot of tricks to making this happen, making these go back in.
For the installation.
Correct.
So I'll ask you a chicken and egg question.
Okay.
Does the water come first before it hits the block, or second, or after the membrane?
It's a pressure system, so the water comes in through the outer shell and then gets pushed through the membrane. And then when the water goes through the membrane, the water is collected on the inside and then goes out to the ground storage tank. The blocks are the two capped ends of the membranes. Membranes are a cylinder, and the blocks are the two capped ends, and that's where the water can come in contact with raw water.
Do the caps have any play on the purity of the water going through the membrane?
I'm sorry,
Is the water, do the caps affect the water quality?
well, if the water gets through the crack, the caps, it will. Right now, it's going through the membranes and it's being protected. We may be exceeding our pressure decay test, but the turbidity, which is the measurement of the dirt in the water, the suspended solids, those we're not exceeding. We're not exceeding those numbers. So we're still, that number is a manufacturer's recommendation number. The state actually questioned it, did their own math on the calculations and said that we actually have a higher number than what the manufacturer, but that manufacturer number is there to start us to take the initiative to do the repairs. We can't wait until after we have a problem. In the water industry, it's always, you gotta act first.
I think this was discussed once before. You're going to replace with the same type of material cap or something different?
The design is going to be exactly the same, but I can see that we have 3 units that were purchased in 2000, and 1 unit that was purchased in 2002. And you can see that those first 3 units all have cracks in it. The next one, 2 years later, didn't. I'm really sure that the manufacturer realized there was a problem with the type of plastic that they used and used a different formula, and that's why the other one doesn't show any cracks, where the other ones show cracks in them all.
But wasn't there a question if we're going to go fine thread or coarse?
That's the only change. The first 3 are fine threads. The last one was coarse thread.
Causing the cracks.
The manufacturer made that choice to change the kind of threads themselves, and like I say, there's a reason for that. They don't do it just because they want to. There was a practical reason for those coarse threads, and that's what we're going through with the new ones. So they're going to be all coarse from now on, no more fine. Those are actually obsolete, so there's no sense in us buying something that's obsolete and hoping it's going to be still in service 20 years from now. So
I have 2 questions. We've got room for this in our budget, right?
Yep.
It's been budgeted. And then my second question is, don't we share with Algonac? Are they paying part of it?
Yes.
So what's our portion and what's their portion?
It's what, 64% now? We're at 64, so we'd be responsible at 64% of this.
All right, 64, so it's not going to be 445,000,
No.
It's going to be 64% of that, okay. Just want to make sure they're getting paid their part.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Messiah, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Can
Water's
you tell me,
important.
will there be any interruption to our water service or any boil water alerts that will come in with this maintenance program?
we shouldn't have any of it. We'll time it. We'll make sure that we can. Like I said, we're replacing 3 out of 4 blocks. The 4th one is just membranes. As soon as we change those membranes, we're going to get a good working unit right off the bat. Then we're going to go and do it one at a time, go down the line, so that, because we couldn't take them all offline.
Take one train, the trains.
Yeah, we got 4 trains,
Take one
do
train
one at
off.
a time.
One at a time?
Yeah.
And given the lead time of the product, if we go now, this is something that you expect to do next summer?
Correct. 4 to 6 months, and
This may
the
not
way I
hit
see
this
things
current
slow down.
budget year, because it's going to be on the slow road from Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where they make it.
That's where they're from.
Well, we want to avoid that increase.
Yes, it's going to be on Algonac's agenda on the 17th, so
Okay.
once it goes through there, then we can place the order.
Because you're here tonight, can I press you on the issue? Do you see any other major maintenance type needs that water treatment plant will have to have?
Yes, this plant is 20-plus years old. Anything that has anything to do with computers and programming, which is a lot, what this machine, these units are like, they're all 20 years old. We do have to do a major upgrades. You can't have a computer system that's 20 years old and expect it to keep on going for you.
So are they currently scheduled?
We have scheduled replacements. We have been doing it. We replaced our computer system, the SCADA system that oversees the whole system. We've already done that. We also have another one online that's been bid out, it's accepted. That's going to do the individual filter units will be replaced because the equipment that they used 20 years ago, they don't support any of that anymore. That all has to be changed over. We've had a couple of incidences where we turn the power off to a unit, do a repair, turn it back on, something else doesn't want to work because it's been online for 20 years. You kill power to it, you just don't know what you're going to get when you turn it back on. So we have to do a major investment to bring that plant up to today's standard or today's equipment. Because all that equipment, every time we call about a piece of equipment, well, we haven't made that in 10 years, that type of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we can expect to see something from your office?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? But
It is.
We need to be proactive rather than...
Right, you can't afford not to. You can't afford not to.
We've done a lot of upgrades in that plant. We did the pumps, the
VFD drive for our high service pump.
drives.
And when that SCADA system gets in, we're going to install that to run the pumps more efficiently. They won't run at 100% on/off. It'll be ramped up, ramped down. So
that saves.
My understanding is there's going to be a lot of grants coming down for water plants and
we can only hope.
infrastructure, and so
We can only hope.
we'll just have to keep an eye out for that because it would definitely be a benefit.
So, yep. Any more questions for Andy?
Nope, thank you, Andy.
Thanks for coming in. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the Algonac water plant filter membrane replacement at 64% of the $445,760.
Okay, a motion and support. Any more discussion? So, hearing none, roll call.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Richards?
Yes.
Maureen Bory?
Yes.
Joanne Sharkey?
Yes.
Artie Bryson?
Yes.
Christie Hilton?
Yes.
Crystal Regan?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. All right, next we invited County Commissioner Dave Vandenbosch to give us an update in the county and to talk about emergency sirens and upgrading our system and expanding our system.
Well, hello, everybody. As we all know, we've got the ARPA money and stuff like that came into the county, and Chairman of the board, Bohm, actually wanted to give each one of the commissioners about $500,000 to spread out through his district. And there's different ways of spending it, and some commissioners are doing paving projects, gravel, culvert projects. I lean more toward public safety. That's more of what I'm used to when I'm comfortable. And I've talked to Chief Rose for the last few years about some of the issues we've been having with sirens, and we've gotten the county finally all of them fixed. There's 54 in the county, including Clay's would make it 57, and today they actually work flawlessly for the first time. Well, they've been working about the last about year, but we've finally got everything working.
Well, for the record, Clay's always did.
It did.
For the record.
It did. But we had a lot of maintenance issues with the sirens, and they weren't getting done. So finally, the county said we put one contractor in charge of the whole county. That way, it's all, and actually they put in recording systems that actually let us know when they don't work too. We didn't even know some of them didn't work. Some of them weren't even on the paper that they were there. We didn't even know they were there, so. But with that, we actually started noticing huge gaps in the net, as we call it, the coverage area for the sirens, especially down this way. And one of the biggest places is Harson's Island. And there's not, and it's the area in the county that's been hit most by tornadoes. It's been hit 3 times in its history so far. There's not a siren on it. And also with the island, you have all the bays. And a lot of the people, as everybody knows down here, you don't have cell service sometimes when you're out in the bay. So you don't know you're getting an alert, a weather alert. So the only thing you have is a siren. So we met today with West Shore, who is the contractor for the county, who's actually servicing them all. And we talked about actually installing 15 new sirens in the Casco, Clay Township, Cotterville, and Cheyenne Township areas. Casco's not my area, but it makes sense to create a good coverage. And that's why I invited them to come join with us so we can cover everything from 32 Mile Road south all the way to the end of the islands. So, and that will, right now we only have 13 sirens in that area. And we're looking to add 15 more. And that will cover the area. It's not going to be perfect. If you're in your basement, you're not going to hear it. But if you're out in your parks or out on the waterways without your engine roaring, if you're enjoying the outside, you'll hear it. And that's when you need to take cover. So, Clay Township proposed 6 sirens in Clay Township. China's looking at 5. And they're actually covering some of the other areas by taking 5 themselves and putting them on their borders. And Cotterville's done the same thing by putting 1 in there along the water in M29 to cover the Elginak State Park. So we have a siren very close to all those campers. Because we did lose some people during a weather event in Fort Trott. And that's probably about 8 years ago. So we really want to get those campers notified of any severe weather. And then we're also looking at 2 in Cotterville, 2 in Casco. So a total of 15. Right now, each siren costs roughly $25,000, plus or minus a few, depending on hookups. But we're looking at about $375,000 for the whole project. The county will pick up $250,000 of that, and then the local match would then be about $125,000. And I know Chief Rose has already budgeted to do his thing, but this is just another way to help them, and then they can reinvest that money back into the township, into his department. So I just want to impact the most amount of people. Gravel and road projects are great, and we do need to do them, but I wanted to help as many people as I could. If we can save 1 or 2 lives just by getting these installed, it's worth every penny. And I just wanted to bring that to you. We had a great meeting with Artie Bryson and all the players today, and it was a great meeting. Everything went really well. Artie actually, I had no idea how to put this together because they gave me no information. Here's a lump sum of money, and we've never had that in years to do that with. So, and Artie came up with a great 1/3, 2/3 program, and I think that's going to work out great for all the players involved. So, and I think it's going to work out well.
So we're going from 3 to 9 sirens then? And how many would be on the island?
Was it 2 or 3?
No, I think it's 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
George has been working on this for 2 years now, our fire chief.
Yeah, I remember siren.
And I put it in this year's budget,
Right.
$150,000 for 6 sirens. And we've been working with the supplier as far as placement with it, but now we're tweaking it because like Cotterville, they're willing to put 1 just on the other side of the state park, which would cover the north part of Clay Township to Elginak. So we wouldn't need 1 there. And we're looking at, well, we're going to put 1 at the north part, on the west side of our township up north, so that will cover some of Cotterville for that. We're
working together.
Yeah, working together. There's probably we're looking at optimal places to place these on the island and the mainland. We'd like to have them on property that either we control or it's a little more complicated if it's on the road easement as far as placement, but it's not unheard of. But we have spots like the TNR property, the San Souci, the fire hall. We own some properties and other places on the island and on the mainland where our pump stations are for our lift stations and stuff. And we also have to have an ability to run electricity to them. And I will tell the board that, you know, once these will be owned by each municipality, and we talked about at the meeting, there's maintenance involved on these, and we can be on a maintenance plan, and they are about $450 per tower per year. And I also remind the others too that we also have to pay for electricity, so there's electric, you know. So roughly it's going to cost $600 a year per tower for the maintenance, but if something goes wrong with it, it needs a new transmitter or something along those lines.
Or the battery backups.
The battery backups go bad, things like that. It would be the township's responsibility.
Are you telling me I'm getting 6 more electric bills?
I know, I thought that.
They're like bunnies.
Do you have to replace the 3 that we have now, or is it just 6?
No.
They were flawless. And they actually were tested today at 1 o'clock and worked great.
Oh, that's great. So they'll last a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But with the maintenance program, that actually covers your replacement parts too for some of the.
Yeah, a lot of the parts.
So it's a good program. And like I said, we've gotten the county back online, but we noticed some areas that need coverage. And that's why I was kind of hoping this works out. We're still waiting, and we'll be getting more information to you next couple of weeks, but I just wanted to bring that to you.
And we'll probably be getting a resolution similar like we get with road match funding, where, you know, and I kind of threw it out there to Dave today, well, why don't we do a 1/3 match, so the county's going to pay for 2/3, and we'll pay 1/3. So essentially, you know, we had 150 grand budgeted for this year for these sirens. So it will end up costing us $50,000. So we'll be able to, you know, use that we'll have $100,000 to save or put other places that we need fit. So
In some of the other communities that already, in my district, already have sirens, like Algonac and Marine City, we're looking at some emergency generators to, in fact, they already have sirens to them, but they have no backup generators for their warming centers, or the Algonac DPW needs a more portable generator to do their lift stations. So I mean, I'd like to try and focus this $500,000 on that. Art did a good job spending a big chunk of it.
So you said it's $375,000 for the 6 of them?
No, that's for the 15 of them.
Oh, okay.
And by buying in economies of scale and by leveraging the county, we could beat them up a little bit on the price and hold the price down. Because they're talking about $800-900 increases in the next year. So we're going, well, we get to keep your quoted price already, right?
Yeah.
So.
Great.
And then I also wanted to touch base on that fire. I was actually sitting status in Marine City because I am their assistant fire chief, and I sent our chief down here to help out. And what the community's done, it's been amazing. I came down to Algonac Lines the day after, and they were sorely closed. And the Marine City Lines, we put an event together up there for them, and we collected 6 cars worth of things and dropped off. And what the Lions have done down there was just amazing. I mean, I was on the phone Wednesday or Thursday with some of the staff in the county about the Section 8 to help people get their housing, and then I heard that the Lions were picking up their rent just so that they had places to live. And it was amazing. Emergency management came down right away. and worked right at the Lions Club and got them some temporary shelter through some of the apartment, or some of the motels, and it's not a great time of year to be staying in a motel, but beats being out on the street. And Joe Doan, I can't say enough how he organized that fire. It was, and with the help of Chief Lancaster and Chief Rose, I mean, they handled it. It was a big, big fire. Hopefully we don't see the likes of that fire for a long time. And then the police department did a phenomenal job breaking. I mean, they broke every door wall, made sure every unit was clear. The fire department did a search, but they already had a preliminary search done for us. And it's one less thing we had to do, and it was probably a fire at the least amount of manpower. I mean, especially in our paid on-call areas. George was lucky enough, he had full staff, so he was a huge help. So if it happened in the middle of the night, it would have been terrible. Just, I don't know what it would have been like. But to have 24 residents displaced and have them housing and get them out and everybody safe and no one seriously injured in the fire was just wonderful. So thank you for all the things you guys do with our community. So.
Thank you, Dave.
Anything else about the county?
You got anything else? I know you got a lot going on all the time.
It's a little busy, but it's all right. That's what they put me here for.
That's right.
That's what you guys put me here for. So.
That's right.
So let's just hope we can get this all put together, because the time frame is we want to get these sirens up before next year's storm season.
Yep.
So that was our goal, and that was one of the biggest points we made with the contractor today. We get this done by the end of the year, paperwork-wise. We're going to have these before spring storms.
So you're going to work on the resolutions for us to?
Yes.
Okay.
I will get with Carrie Heffley in her office and get it to you.
If you need any help with that, let me know.
Okay.
You could probably use what the county road commission kind of.
It is what, no use reinventing
Exactly.
the wheel.
Exactly.
So, but anybody have any questions on it, that'd be, give me a call or so.
Yep.
All right.
All right, good work with you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have on our agenda, it's a support letter really for the regional, the St. Clair County Regional Trail Board.
Bridge to Bay?
Yep, for the Bridge to Bay. We're looking at a couple some kiosks for bikers, making it more bike friendly throughout the township, and they want me to sign this support letter. And the grant, we'll probably be responsible for about $18,000. These are kind of estimates. It includes a kiosk at the state park, a full kiosk at the state park. They have full kiosks with signage and secondary. And they're looking at a full kiosk at the state park, one here next door, one on Harson's Island, and it'll probably go at Brownsfield, and then we may move it once we get our nature park installed, but I would probably be asking permission at Brownsfield of putting it there for now, and one at the Pearl Beach Pier, fishing pier, and a full kiosk at the proposed county beach park. So that's what we're looking at in the plan, and that's the plan they suggested. I was in favor of it, so I'm asking the board's permission for me to sign this letter of support.
Like a pretty good price for $18,000 for all that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a grant through the Charles Wilson Foundation Legacy Funds, and it's going to be about $110,000 worth of stuff for us. And like I say, our costs our match will be about $18,000.
you seen any examples?
Yeah, I
These
have
kiosks,
them.
Are they
I
like
think-
electronic touch screen?
No,
interviews? Is it digital?
they're individual signage, they're covered,
Okay.
and they have different things for, to help bikers out and stuff. Some of
Showing
them,
trails or something?
trails, some of them have a little air pump if they, and a little thing to fix a flat tire and tools and stuff. They're pretty slick.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the St. Clair County Regional Trail Support Letter of Support. You can sign already.
I have a second.
Support.
Okay?
Yeah, are there any emergency call buttons on that?
No.
That'd be something. Really?
Yeah. You need some
Maybe
kind
not on
of,
all of them, but maybe the remote one.
right, you need some kind of a cell or electronic connection, but,
We're hooking up to a siren, how's that?
okay. Point straight down.
It's gonna make it cost a lot more.
All right, oh, we better do roll call, is it? Well, yeah, we better do roll call on it. Is there any more discussion? No? Okay, roll call, please.
Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Maureen Bory.
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Christie Hilton.
Yes.
Krista Reagan.
Yeah.
Cindy Valentine, yes.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, next we have board member comments. Cindy?
Well, it was nice to see a full boardroom tonight,
Yeah.
for sure. I just want to say thank you to St. John's Dental for their supporting our fire department. Thank you, Andy, for coming from the water department or the water station, I guess, in Algonac. We appreciate the feedback and the information tonight. And it's nice to actually talk to somebody when we're approving something to that large amount of money. And thank you, Commissioner Vanden Bosch, for taking the time to come down and see us. And I really appreciate you looking out for public safety out here. That's all I got.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, this may be a broken record, but I can't go without acknowledging and thanking the first responders in our community and mutual aid communities for that Rolling Brook fire. I'm in the fire restoration business, and I had to walk that project last week, and I can tell you without fail, it is a 100% total loss on that complete building. It is gone. There's no roof left. The walls are opened up. The doors are broken in. It's 100% total loss. And to think of a building of that magnitude, almost 20,000 square feet, and it's black with smoke from one end to the other, and we have brave men and women going into that environment and pulling all 24 residents out, it's a Christmas miracle. It really is. I mean, we had no loss of life on that. The structure's insured, it'll be repaired, it'll be replaced, but human life is far more precious, and I'm just so grateful for Chief Rose, Chief Coach, the firefighting departments, the mutual aid. It all worked. It worked like our leaders have it set up to work. So it was awesome, and it can't be underestimated how grateful I am that we have no loss of life there. That's all I have.
Thank you. Kristen?
I just want to report that winter tax collection is underway. And also, we are also collecting for the Goodfellows. So toys, actually the care bag movement, right? Brought in a box today, and they are collecting gift cards that we have behind the counter for foster children that are in the MDHHS system. So we're doing that, and we have the hats and coats and, not coats, hats, gloves, scarves, a toy box, and then monetary donations if anyone wants to do that.
Thank you. Mark?
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to the next planning commission meeting. We don't have one until next January, I believe, so this is going to take place. We need to get
They canceled.
Right. December, well, November and December are canceled, so we got to have one in January, and we need to put out a 5-day, or yeah, at least a 5-day notice for a public hearing on this issue. We also need to discuss the fencing issue, the accessory building issue, and those ordinances that need to be straightened out a little bit.
Why were those those meetings canceled?
I don't know. Nobody informed me. I just get an email from Cindy.
I was wondering why they were canceled too.
Canceled, yeah, so. I don't know, other communication issue, but anyways, also like to thank their first responders for the event that took place, as Chris was mentioning. I am a member of the Lions Club, and I was at that Lions Club for, as well as some of the other members, most of the other members there for 24 hours, bringing in the recipients and getting them comfortable, and getting transportation for them. And we did find some temporary shelter for all of those displaced people. So again, thank you very much for a job well done. Thank you.
Ditto on all of that, and wanted to say congratulations to you, John, for starting to retire pretty soon.
Thank you.
I know nobody mentioned that, but we're going to miss you.
Well, he didn't submit it yet.
No, well, he's thinking about it, so.
He's still got another meeting.
Okay, good. And I just had a little challenge I wanted to talk to the board about tonight, because we got this letter today, and I think it's maybe because the public didn't hear about it till Thursday. And I was scrambling, trying to figure it all out, because, you know, as you know, I'm new, I'm trying to make my way. But is there any way we could maybe talk about getting the agenda out of maybe Wednesday night, so that, because we're closed on Friday, or maybe open on Friday, if that's something we can put on the agenda for next meeting?
The agenda can't go out other than on Thursday. We run checks on Thursday. Things are still coming in throughout the week as it is. We only have 4 days in a week, so.
Because it just doesn't give the public any chance to call, because nobody's there on Friday, and then Monday's the meeting.
And that's why we didn't take any action on that.
Yeah.
And I mean, all we wanted to do is direct it for a public hearing.
Right, well, I was just hoping we could move it up. I didn't understand the
I think people
Okay.
kind of
I just-
overreact.
Right, okay.
So confirming that.
Okay, Joanne?
I'm glad to see that we're going to have a public hearing with the planning commission. I think that'll be a good thing for us. But when it's going to be, we don't know exactly. So, and I want to say, I do agree with everything that Chris said, and we've got lots going on in this community, and we're trying to get a lot done before the beginning of the next year. And have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
Okay. All right, thank you. Andy, thanks for coming. Dave, thanks for coming. Good working with you. Yeah, these sirens are going to be a great thing. It's I know George, we've been looking at it and working on it for a couple of years now. So thanks for stepping up to the plate with the county and helping us out on that. The Goodfellows, everybody knows what they do, No Kid Without Christmas. And another thing we do at the township, if anyone wants to round up when they pay a bill, round up, we give the difference to the Goodfellows on any bill. Or if they want to say, give them $5, $10 more, or whatever. We do that all the time, and it goes to the Goodfellows. How many, do you know how much we've, oh, you'd have to look how much we collected for them. People rounding up their bills or kicking a few more bucks on their water bill or whatever they pay. So that's a good thing. They do a great job. And yeah, with the fire at Rolling Brook, it was amazing. We're going to be singling out a few heroes that were at that. We had a couple, 3 police officers that were literally carrying people out to safety, and also a couple firemen that were breaking down doors and carrying people out to safety while that was going on. It was pretty hectic. I mean, you're talking to people that are in wheelchairs or walkers. It worked out. It couldn't have gone any better. Proud of the guys that reacted. And it was funny, later in the day, I was at the Lions Hall try and help the residents out that were there. I see the state emergency manager walks in, and he's out by the door. And, hey, Artie, how's everything going? Okay, well, do you need this? No, we got that already. Well, what about medicine? You know, Red Cross isn't here yet, but no, we got that handled. I mean, he said like 4 or 5 things. Do you need help with? No, it's already handled. And he was amazed himself that, and this is like an hour and a half after it happened, how the community came together and helped with the needs of these people. It was very traumatic for them. And we had 2 pastors there and a social worker there talking to them, consoling them. You know, and a lot of these people had pets. We had the pet store come and bring us dog food and cat food and litter and a couple dog beds and stuff. I mean, it just came. It was amazing how this community came together, and I'm proud to be part of this community. So thank you. One more motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Yep. All in favor? Aye. Thanks for coming, everybody.